Welcome back everybody. For section 5 we're talking about plate tectonics in Arizona. So first we have to divide Arizona into these three parts. And if you look at the map here, the three parts are somewhat evident. You might have this region up in the north, you have this region down in the south, and this area which is sort of in between. So here I've added the names for these different provinces or geologic areas onto the map. We have the Basin and Range in the south, Colorado Plateau up north, and this transition zone in between. And the Basin and Range, you might notice, has lower elevation for the most part in these deeper and darker greens, but interspersed are these lines, these ridges, mountain ranges. So it is called the Basin and Range Province. So the story of the Basin and Range Province, which you can see from the cartoon here, actually covers a lot of the western United States, including southern parts of Arizona, parts of Mexico, parts of New Mexico, all of Nevada, and parts of California and Oregon up here. The story of the Basin and Range is very closely related to the San Andreas Fault. This is the transform fault, which we talked about in the last video. So this is, in very brief, simplified terms, what is going on with the Basin and Range and with the southern part of Arizona. We have this past time where there was a lot of compression, a lot of compressional stress on the western part of the United States. Why and how, we are not going to worry about beyond the scope of this course. The San Andreas Fault develops and releases a lot of that tension. And after a long period of compression, that tension is released and it leads to extension, this pulling apart of western North America. And as a result of the San Andreas coming along and releasing that tension, we get this stretching out and thinning of the plate in western North America. Now, happening at the same time, maybe caused by it, maybe not, cause and effects are very complicated with all of this, is this rise in mantle material, this heat coming from underneath that would serve to elevate parts of western North America and to stretch and pull the crust out even further. As a result of this pulling and extension, we get fractures and faults and cracks in the crust. And as a result of these fractures, some parts of the crust drop down, whereas other parts, mountain ranges, rise up. Now, if you're thinking to yourself that none of that made any sense, highly recommend watching this video. Some of the videos are optional, kind of for enrichment. This one is really good and really important. Now, at this point, we have covered everything in the tectonic cycle, all of the larger order processes that go on with the planet. As we move forward with the course, we're going to start zooming in more and more. So we start with tectonics, the big ideas, and as we move along, we zoom in a little closer to rock cycles, water cycles, some of the smaller elements. To wrap it up, what are our big ideas for the section? What is plate tectonics? What was the process of developing plate tectonics? What is the evidence provided for it? And what is the proof that locks it in? Mantle convection is the driver of plate tectonics. What is it? How does it work? Why does it drive the motion of plates and of continents? We have our different types of plate boundaries. What are some examples of these different kinds of plate boundaries in the real world, and how do they relate to things like earthquakes or volcanoes? What are the symptoms of each one? Finally, you will need to know about the Basin and Range Province. You will need to know something about the geologic history of southern Arizona. That is all I have for this section, and for those of you who made it to the end,